Hello, welcome to week number 6 on Introduction to Criminal Investigation. This week here, we're going to be looking at Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 265, Crimes Against a Person. We're going to go through the various things with that, working that. One thing that we're going to start off with first, though, is a thing called the Brady list. This happens when a police officer is found to be less than truthful, has lied on a report, or falsified a report, committed a crime, and as a result of that, the district attorneys are required by law to put that officer's name on a list of people that when they do go to court, any court, is that the DA is going to have to tell the judge, or in the case if it's a jury trial, going to have to tell the jury that this officer at some point in time of his or her career was disciplined, suspended, for not being truthful, and that carries a lot of burden with it. It's something that the district attorneys are really starting to have to adhere to from challenges. It goes all the way back to a case Brady versus Maryland, where a person didn't get full disclosure of what an officer did. And it resulted in a case going south. You don't need that. This has come about particularly with Suffolk County District Attorney Rachel Rollins. She has listed a bunch of Massachusetts State Police officers who go to Suffolk courts, Boston police officers, Chelsea police officers, Everett police officers. Those people, their names are on the list, and it's just too bad. And you say, how can something like that happen? But it does happen. It happened on our own department. We had 3 officers alter a police report that was involved a domestic violence homicide. They went to the call. It was a known frequent flyer call. They knew both parties. They took the woman out of the apartment of her boyfriend and brought her back and dropped her off at her ex-husband's home. After a while, she was intoxicated. The husband called and said she wasn't supposed to be there, and as a result of that, the officers gave her a ride back to the apartment because she said she was going to just go back and go to sleep, and that he was going to be asleep too. But she went in and killed him with a baseball bat, and it was just found out that they didn't document everything on the report and were disciplined on those things. So you never know. So that's just something, heads up about ethics and integrity on the job. What we're going to do is look in Chapter 265, Crimes Against People. This is one chapter, one thing where you really need to read those policies and procedures that I've posted. You don't have a textbook. And I'm supplementing the textbook with these policies and procedures, but you need to read them. You need to understand them. And if there's any questions at all about the policy and procedure, I'm available anytime to explain it to you. One of the policies is about just the criminal investigation, the policy that you have to follow in order to make it a valid investigation. That's very, very important, because if you don't do it right at the beginning, no matter what you do right afterwards, is that case is going to go south on you. This is why we have defense attorneys. Defense attorneys, even though sometimes you don't like what they're doing and what they're saying, is that they're there on the behalf of their client to make sure that you follow the Constitution, and particularly on arrest and search and seizure. So that investigation policy and procedure is very good. And also the fact that there's another policy and procedure that I posted regarding evidence. And the evidence is another crucial thing, is it cannot be tampered with. It cannot be compromised. It cannot be get into a situation where you don't get the evidence, you don't log it in correctly, you don't pack it correctly, all those types of things, particularly now with DNA. You really got to be careful that you don't cross-contaminate. You have to use, just like we're doing here in the pandemic, personal protective equipment, especially face masks and gloves and protective equipment, booties, all those types of things there, because it's just so easy to cross-contaminate evidence. And so that the evidence collection is very good. The other policy and procedure is one that's very important, because it deals with the dead body. and you go to a call on a dead body. No matter what you do on policing, at some point in time, that's what you're going to get. And when you go into that particular call, is that it can be a person that's died from natural causes. And that's something where it's still going to be an investigation if that person hasn't been attended by a physician in the last couple of months, or if the person isn't under hospice care, all those types of things. There, you're still going to have to do a complete investigation. Another situation times is suicide, and suicide is a situation where you're going to have a lot of things, particularly if there's family involved. You're at the person's done it there. You're going to notifications. We're going to talk about that, notifications and everything. And so, and you also wants to make sure that even a murder, is a murder or suicide, or is it a murder or a natural death? All these things have to be put in there. When you follow that policy and procedure, is that here in Massachusetts, when we have an unattended death, a suicide or a murder, it becomes a joint investigation with the Essex County District Attorney's Office. And the Essex County District Attorney, Jonathan Blodgett, has a team of state police investigators, detectives. They're called CPAC, stands for Crime Prevention and Control. They will come and assist you along with the notification of the Office of Chief Medical Examiner. All these situations, with the exception of some unattended deaths, is that a suicide or a homicide is you're going to involve those other agencies. And again, this is the policy and procedure. You need to follow the policy and procedure. And I've also put up a federal death investigation guide. Some very interesting things in those guides that shows, along with accreditation, that there are certain procedures that are used universally that have to be adhered to in doing those. Also included in the module is a series of interviews with victims of crimes, from different crimes against a person, robbery, drunk driving victims, assault victims, families of murdered victims, the circumstances that are around there. And this brings out another level of being an effective investigator, is the way that you handle the case. In the case of a murder situation or a suicide, how you handle the family, empathetic things that you can do to ease the pain, things that you can do to get help for people, things that you need to do if you're going to have to make a death investigation. One of the most terrible things that a police officer has to do, and unfortunately I've had to do that on several occasions, that tells someone that a loved one has committed suicide or has been found dead, or even of natural causes, or they've been murdered. It's just a horrible, horrible thing in doing those things. I just want you to get a feel for particularly the ones with the sheriffs, the empathy that comes with being an effective investigator, and also the things that you need to do. And also when there's a situation when bad things happen to good people, is that you just want to lessen the pain for that person. You want to be able to help them. You want to be able to get them the necessary resources, and also for you as a police officer, your health is just as important too. And there's certain situations where we have to have critical incident stress debriefing, all those types of things to maintain a level of making sure that the officers are going to be okay as well. So there's a lot, when we deal with crimes against person, it's so much difference against crimes against property. Is you're dealing with human factors, and you're dealing with the fact that you can make a big difference if you do it correctly and you show the right techniques and all that. So that's what we're going to be doing. I just want to finish up also with the fact that I sent out the announcement regarding the keeper of disorderly household and disorderly conduct, just as a reminder for that unfortunate incident that we had that involved a couple of Salem State students at the party in Salem. Again, we are a very proud community at Salem State University. We as professors are proud of you people. We know, and I know myself, just as policing, there's sometimes when bad things happen with a police officer that doesn't do what he or she is supposed to do, it sometimes it gets painted with a broad brush. In no way ever would I ever think of doing that or wonder, but just the fact that we have to stick together during this pandemic, and the more that we can do to be together and do the right thing and stay safe and stay healthy, is that we're going to work our way through here and get things done. So I want you to have a good week, and really read those policies and procedures and get an understanding of that. And also, again, I'm available anytime that I can be of help to you on there. So take care, and again, have a great week.